Warning, what you are about to watch is probably some really dumb opinions by me, Ace, as we are going to go on a journey where I review every single major wrestling show that has to do with the biggest show of the year in WWE. That's right, this is Ace's Road to WrestleMania. Welcome in. Our first Smackdown review on Ace's Road to WrestleMania. Some interesting stuff happened tonight. As before I forget again, fit check. We got a Judgment Day shirt on tonight. Little representation to our boy Damian Priest now on SmackDown. The beverage of choice is another lemon lime Gatorade Zero, which I think I was drinking during Raw as well. I think this is our last one, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do. What up? What up, Earl? Shout out to Earl, who made it to all the shows, and we'll be right back at it on Monday Night Raw. But this one's interesting. We're doing something a little bit different tonight, as I was a little busy tonight, and but mostly knew what happened on SmackDown. I'd be able to recap it for you guys, but I felt like I am going to need some help. Has it's, yes, actually, let's talk about that first. The releases before I show you guys our little surprise right now, and then get the little surprise ready. So, from what I gathered, the Authors of Pain with Paul Elgrig were released. Sonya Deville, Cedric Alexander, and am I missing anything? Welcome in, everybody. Let me know if I'm missing anything or there was any other confirmed ones. I'm gonna check Fightful right now. Yeah, there might have been more interesting stuff off screen. Double checking. But going over the ones we know now, Sonya Deville was a bit of a surprise, especially she's in a faction that just you would think get a lot of big push during the Rumble. That was interesting. The Authors of Pain getting released is kind of a big deal because no more Final Testament, I guess. So that's it for Karrion Kross's faction. Him and Scarlett will probably be on their own if they don't get released. I hope not. They worked hard to get back to WWE. I would hate for it to just randomly end. Um, yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. And excuse me. And the Cedric Alexander getting released made sense to me. He'll probably reunite with Shelton Benjamin and VP and Bobby Lashley with the Hurt Syndicate when they were all in WWE in 2020. They had a very fan favorite faction in the Hurt Business that really didn't give the time it deserved. It was a faction that had a lot of hype, had a lot of great stuff going for it, but unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. And you guys could hear me and stuff, right? Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Sorry, just checking. The mics were really weird for a second. Oh, Blair Davenport got released. I did not see that, so that's confirmed. Blair Davenport's gone. Yes, I just saw it on Fightful. That's a little weird. Kind of strange that Blair Davenport's gone. You would think that's somebody just from NXT that they would want to keep. That's a little strange. Um, wow. So those are some interesting releases. It always sucks when these major releases happen. You don't want to see anybody get released. I think in Cedric Alexander's case, though, I think he's going to have some more opportunities in AEW with his guys in the Hurt Syndicate. I think that'll be a fine fit for him. But bummer no matter what. I really hope Karrion Kross doesn't get released. I've been enjoying Karrion Kross on TV. That would actually be a big bummer if Karrion got released. But yeah, that's there might have been more interesting stuff off screen because, oh man, I hope they're ready. I'm gonna give them. Hopefully, they could listen to me say this before I call them in. We're gonna have some people on the line to review SmackDown with me and essentially tell me what happened, give me the recap, and we are going to be joined by Nikki Fox, who have you seen on Shock Wrestling and commentary. We're going to be joined by Rod Kipp, another fan favorite here in the Shock Wrestling universe, and the big boss man himself will be joining us, Mr. Johnny Von Hollywood. And give me 1 second here, and I am going to call them all in. Can you hear me, boys?
Yes.
I believe you guys are live on
I
Shock
can.
Sports right now. So everybody introduce yourselves because they can only hear your voices.
You do sound good.
Nick.
Hey,
Nikki Fox.
Nikki Fox is here. Guys, let me know if they're too loud or anything, but they look good on my end.
I think we're a little loud. Or at least I'm a little loud.
Well,
you might have to just crank my ass down.
Yeah, I turned you guys down a little bit. You should be good now.
Sicko.
But yes,
Sicko mode.
We'll try this again. Okay, go first, Nikki. Say hello.
Hello, I'm Nikki Fox. Hello out there.
Rod Kipp.
Hi.
And Mr. Johnny Von Hollywood.
Hello, it's me, Johnny Von Hollywood, joining us tonight. I'm excited. I have opinions, folks. I'm ready to go. I had to make sure that the YouTube stream was sounding good, and everything sounds great.
Yeah, so now that we're all here, our first call-in. Welcome in, guys. Four-person booth reviewing SmackDown, and
yeah, we're all in the jail together right now. Rod Kipp, Nikki Fox, and I are cuddling.
I'm in the middle.
I guess I'll just ask each of you. Give me a 1 through 10 rating of SmackDown tonight. We'll start with Johnny Von Hollywood.
4 out of 10.
Okay. Rod Kipp?
The same. It was a 4 out of 10.
Are you gonna disagree, Nikki?
I'd say it's about a 4.5 out of 10. That half is
wow,
only because of Bianca.
Oh boy.
What a panel!
We're all really diverse action going on here on the live stream.
What do you guys think went first? Let's start positive. What were the positives of tonight?
Bianca.
No.
I really like the 3 person with the LA Knight. Was it Jay? No, it was Jimmy and McIntyre. That's literally when I decided, like, man, this is actually worth paying attention.
I decided to watch it. Yes, Jimmy, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre was the moment as Rod Kipp and I watched the show together that we went, oh, finally, entertainment.
I can pay attention. Entertainment, exactly.
What do you think was well, take me through the show, because I believe you had a Jey Uso and Cody segment towards the beginning.
Yeah, folks.
So I can't help.
So at the beginning of the night, we started the show with Jey Uso, of course, your Royal Rumble winner, who said he was going to come out what did he say to Gunther last week? He said, "I'll shout at Cody." And so he came out.
Cody.
he yeeted for approximately 25 minutes.
A
And
long heat.
then he was about to say something to Cody. Then Cody came out. Then he was about to say something to Cody again. I assume implying, should I face you? And then the knockoff bloodline, the new bloodline of Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga made their way down. Tama said, shh, and yee. And then Jacob took over the promo and said, hey, Jay,
Yeah.
if you beat Cody, that means you'll be winning the belt back for our family, right? Then Jay super kicked him.
As he should.
And not until approximately 5 minutes later did they tell us, oh, by the way, our main event tonight is going to be Jay and Cody versus Jacob and Tonga. So, all right.
As somebody who's only been watching wrestling for like 3 years now, Johnny, does it bother you when a show and WWE does this a lot? Does it bother you when the main event isn't the main event when it airs, and they figure out the main event while the show's airing, like in kayfabe?
See, I think it works sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a fan of when we do it on the Shock Wrestling Universe every Monday and every Friday night. But
Yes.
we, typically we have a purpose. I feel like Jay and Cody Here's the thing. Did you watch it at all, Ace, that opening segment?
A little bit of it, as I was trying to set everything up.
I quite literally don't think anything was accomplished there. Like anything was said, and there was no implication that Jay and Cody would fight side by side. So that's why at the end of the night, I kind of expected. Spoiler alert, right? At the end of the night, Solo appears. A wild Solo appears. But I kind of expected Jay and Cody to have a moment because Gunther just immediately put Jay down. He said, I've beaten you before. And so it's kind of like, I get that. I think Jay versus Cody would be cool, but I thought there was going to be a little bit more of a resolution for us at the end of the night when they set that up.
Now, I have a question for Nikki Fox.
Ooh.
As a very casual watcher of pro wrestling, Nikki Fox, but you have been paying attention recently. Would you what would interest you more? A Jey Uso versus Gunther WrestleMania or a Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso WrestleMania match?
I might be a little biased, but for me, it's got to be Cody Rhodes. I mean, well, also too, like from all the stuff I've been watching, like I think it's kind of interesting, because didn't they have like a little bit of a partnership or a little bit of a collaboration between the two, and now I get to see them cross paths and go at it and stuff. I think that's a little bit
They were tag
interesting.
team champions in 2023, I believe. Yeah, late 2023.
Heck yeah. They were fun to watch. I love seeing them tag team together, and I don't know. I think this is a cool idea where we can now see them go head to head. Also, too, personally, even though it's not the traditional classic red and blue and white and stuff that he originally had, I like Rhodes' new getup with adding a little bit of that gold and stuff. It's just exciting. I'm excited.
Now you're a movie TV show guy, as we know. Do you think this is gearing towards a Homelander Cody Rhodes, that he's tweaking his look a little bit? Is Cody Rhodes becoming
That's what I was. That's what I was wondering tonight. Peralski, sorry, JBH. What did he? What did he? Who was he talking to earlier this evening? When he was, or was it Jay? He was talking to Jay, right?
Miz? Oh, I thought you were talking
Rhodes.
about the backstage.
Sorry, sorry. No.
Cody? Who are you talking about?
Cody Rhodes. I think he was talking to Uso. I think in the beginning, right? When he was in the ring. I don't know, like from when he was how he was talking, and just also too, I think with the look as well. I think there's a little bit of an arc change going for Cody, and I'm excited. Gonna get a little mean.
Yeah, that's what I've been asking for the past 3 months.
Just want to say shout out to Germ, Animus, TJ as in Raven TJ. I looked twice, Rodkip. And Sean,
I would have
new
said
viewer coming
something.
in. Welcome in,
Hi,
guys.
Sean.
Yes, it is a Smackdown
Hello.
night. Yes, that is Nikki Fox. And what's up, Animus? Hope you enjoyed your party. And Germ says it was a 6 out of 10. Best match tonight was the triple
Classic.
threat match.
Classic
Jumpstart
Germ
coming in
being
with a
Yeah,
wrong.
Smackdown.
I agree. I agree.
Now, also tonight was the first time Alexa Bliss wrestled on a SmackDown since July of 2022. That's crazy.
Ace,
Yeah,
Ace.
Rodkip.
did you know Alexa Bliss is back?
You know what, Rodkip?
I
I'll
really
leave to you.
enjoyed-
What did you think of Alexa Bliss's match tonight? It was a qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. What was the finish? Tell me all about it in great detail.
I can't do it in great detail, but I did enjoy it. That's obviously also one of the matches that I watched for reasons. But it's just like wanted Alexa Bliss, but I was rooting for Candace, just because I can. Yes.
Why do you like Candace so much?
I don't have a reason, and I
think
don't
you
need
do.
one.
Candace walked out, and then immediately Rodkip's like, "I'm picking her," and I was like, "What are you, the Raven?" Because
Because the Raven would have done
how
that. Yes,
could you
TJ,
not
she
want
hit
Alexa
grab
Bliss to
again.
win?
It's looking
And
like
if you've been watching wrestling over the past 6 months, Candice LeRae has been jobbed out time and time again. I like
It's time
Candice.
for a resurgence.
I do agree, Earl. Elimination Chamber is, I think, going to be stacked. You already have CM Punk and John Cena in it. I
Oh, yeah.
saw this earlier. Hopefully I saved it. I believe I
I
did.
hope you did. You better.
Maybe I didn't. So it showed me the last time CM Punk and John Cena were in Elimination Chamber before. I don't remember the year exactly, but John Morrison and R-Truth were also in that chamber, and some other people from, it was very 2010s. A long time ago. But Alexa Bliss being in the women's chamber, and it's looking like Elimination Chamber might be really good this year, much like last year. I know JVH's match of the year was on Elimination Chamber last year. I wonder if it'll happen again.
It could.
It could.
As so seems like we all like the Alexa Bliss match. And was there any other Elimination Chamber qualifiers?
Well, before the Alexa Bliss match started, it was a Charlotte promo.
Oh, yes.
Boo.
Charlotte and Tiffany had a promo.
Yes. And then it was interrupted by Nia walking out with Candice, which I guess Candice is Nia's new homie, because she even opened the rope for her and everything. But they set up a match for next Friday night SmackDown with Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. Basically, Nia asked Nick Aldis for a rematch for the title, and so they're doing that next week now.
Oh.
Yeah, so Nia just interrupts Charlotte and Tiffany's whole. Oh, Tiffany's saying people have always compared me to you, so I'm gonna finally put you down at WrestleMania. And then Nia goes, "Hold on, girls." And Candice is like, "Well, what if you win the belt before WrestleMania?" And then, yep. So next week we have Nia versus Tiffany Stratton.
Interesting. Oh, is Drew McIntyre confirmed for the Elimination Chamber? Did that happen tonight?
Yes, it did.
And now
Yes.
Drew is officially on SmackDown, which is exciting.
Yes, he walked out. Joe Tess, as Wade likes to call him, said actually something that sounded real familiar to a Monday Night Raw episode I was just on. They were like, "Oh, just meeting the deadline. They made the trade deal. Drew McIntyre is on SmackDown now." And I went, "Wow, that felt shock wrestling, where we just the carrot on Con now for some reason."
Deja vu.
Yes, as Raven puts it, now the SmackDown Warrior Drew McIntyre. I'm happy he's here. I think the addition of both him and Damian Priest were needed. I think SmackDown has a really good mid card with Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, LA Knight, Nakamura, but the main event scene needed some more bulk. So I think those two guys coming to the blue brand, I think is going to really help it going into Mania season.
Speaking of the mid carders, the next thing that happened and that was confirmed on the show was Carmelo Hayes walked up to Nick Aldis, interrupting some of the girls asking for a match, and Nick was like, "You're facing Akira tonight because you eliminated him at the or because of what happened at the Royal Rumble."
Oh,
and
yes.
Yes, Tozawa versus Carmelo Hayes. It was fine. Hayes defeated Tozawa.
As he should. Do you think Carmelo Hayes should be treated a little bit better? I feel like it's been an interesting first year for him on the main roster.
I agree. I think that because, listen, we have a lot of characters on the rosters. I get
They need
it.
more belts, right?
And I wouldn't necessarily say that, but they're very clearly doing something with the women's division. What's worrying me is when you have these extra shows like Evolve or LFG coming out. Let's Legends fucking go, or whatever it's supposed to be called.
Can I say it?
So when you have those shows coming out that are also introducing more superstars, as well as when we have NXT superstars, and a lot of people that will watch Raw and SmackDown don't end up watching NXT. So it's kind of like we just have so many people right now that I feel like, for example, I keep wondering why there are certain older superstars that keep getting put on TV where I'm like, I feel like I only see Carmelo Hayes every 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So no more Carmelo Hayes, I see.
Nikki Fox, out of the young wrestlers you may have never seen before since watching wrestling recently again, who sticks out to you?
The one that sticks out to me the most, probably is the I can't, and I feel bad because I'm not good with the names. Who's the one that has the pigtails but looks kind of like Harley Quinn?
Alexa
What?
Bliss?
Oh, is she not new?
Well, she just came back from like a 2-year-long injury. You probably did see her wrestle, but it was a while ago. So you like Alexa Bliss, though?
I do like her. Yeah. Thought she was cool.
Yeah,
I liked her
the
match
young,
tonight.
hot new talent in WWE.
Listen, the
On
Beatles
God.
and the Rolling Stones just won Grammys, so.
I know, which is insane.
What happened next on the show, JBH? Are we at
Alexa Bliss and
Are we at the
Candice.
Bianca part? Because I was gonna let Nikki just take that over.
I believe I may have.
It was a fun match. Bianca dominated. I can't remember she won. I remember
We
seeing
completely
parts.
skipped over that earlier. Yes.
I just saw.
Bianca.
I remember. Okay, cool. Because I just remember
Christ.
seeing glimpses of her just going to town and dominating. I was like, hell yeah, Bianca, take her down. And okay, cool. And of course she won. Okay. Oh heck yeah. I should have paid attention probably, but heck yeah.
There's a big rumor going around, Nikki, that it's gonna be not Nia Jax, excuse me. I don't know what you're doing for WrestleMania, Nia. That it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the title at WrestleMania.
Oh my
no,
goodness.
my beloveds. I can't choose.
That's what I'm feeling, Rod Kip. Dude, how am I gonna choose between my two favorite women wrestlers? This is gonna be a hard one to watch. But I'm gonna love it.
That was some news that did break today, Earl. A quick little news thing. Elias signed with AEW today.
News.
I just hope his brother's okay.
Yeah, is Ezekiel gonna sign with a promotion soon? Maybe it's a new career adventure. I believe now he's going as Elijah.
Listen, I'm the only one in here that knows what you're talking about. I appreciate it.
I think that's a fine name change. It's close enough.
No.
Would you walk with Elijah?
If Elijah walk with me, I walk with Elijah.
But thank you
Now,
for that snippet,
okay.
Earl. I forgot.
Now, I have something to say about Belair versus Piper. So, on Bleacher Report, there's a notable moments and observations thing on the bottom, and it says Belair has done the fail twice before hitting the finisher on the third try setup with Niven in almost every match, which is something as Rod Kip and I were paying attention, Nikki. When we were paying attention, we noticed that I believe even Rod Kip had pointed out the whole she's gonna end up lifting her at some point, which I feel like they're doing that spot a lot recently, but apparently Bleacher Report says that as well.
So
No more.
yeah, that's interesting. I never looked at that side of Bleacher Report. I have Bleacher Report, but I usually only get it for like the notifications. Because they're really good at pro wrestling notifications for like news and stuff.
Yeah. Pretty Deadly versus DIY
Yes,
also
I was about
happened.
to
We
ask
skipped
about that.
over.
Oh, I forgot
I
about that.
have been. I think I talked about my Rumble predictions that I'm very. Excuse me. I've been very, very positive about the SmackDown tag team division right now. It's probably the best tag team division within all three brands right now, and NXT, NXT and TNA don't count. Two separate divisions. Raven, but
Good divisions.
You heard him.
SmackDown, I think the SmackDown tag division is the best right now in WWE at the very least, and curious what they'll do with the Street Profits. I really wish
They had a
Montez Ford
video
would just go
package
solo.
tonight.
Yeah, I love the video promo.
Oh, you loved it. Tell me about it.
I liked it. It's just the whole story about like how they kept getting like screwed over and like they're done.
Mhm.
They're over and it's time for retribution.
If we have one serious faction, or one serious run with the Street Profits as tag champs, and then maybe they break up, I guess I wouldn't mind that.
Oh, I want to break up.
Fraxium might be the best tag team around right now. That is a take from an NXT fanboy. As
All right. I don't know. I don't really
I don't
care
know
for
about
what's
that.
going on with the tag team stuff right now. You know,
You don't
I just.
like- You don't like tag team matches.
Yeah,
course you
but it
wouldn't.
doesn't mean I can't enjoy the storyline, Rod Kip.
I think the Motor
have to
City
like
Machine
it all.
Guns is, at least I think, is probably the best tag team right now if we're talking
Which is
WWE.
what the Street Profits, Rod Kip completely neglected, was the Street Profits were saying they want to go after the Motor City Machine Guns.
As they should. And
as
they
they
should.
should.
I was thinking that Earl.
Pretty Deadly.
I was just responding to Earl that he said they're probably gonna have another ladder match at WrestleMania for the WWE tag titles. I think so. At least some kind of multi-person match. I wouldn't even mind if they made it just like an elimination match or a tables match, like, because they did a ladder match last year. Change it up, do something different this time around. At least I think. Yeah, I think Raven and I were talking about that during the Rumble recap video. But what were you saying about Pretty Deadly, JVH?
Tonight was their opportunity and chance that if they beat DIY in this non-title match, they get to take them on for the title, of course. So that also was very shock wrestling to me. But
They weren't
Nick
ready.
Aldis, yeah, they weren't ready. Ciampa was like, he was like, I haven't even changed, and so they started walking back to the stage, and then Pretty Deadly dragged them back into the ring, and the bell rang. So,
ding ding ding.
I'm gonna have JVH respond to the Raven comment that I just read in my head. You ready?
In your head. Oh.
Head.
Yeah.
He said, "I am a big Pretty Deadly guy. Give me Pretty Deadly the musical featuring Lin-Manuel Miranda.
What does that even mean?
Like, would he be one of the Pretty
would he
Deadly
be-
guys?
Would he be in it?
Or is he
joining
their
Pretty Deadly?
manager?
He's a big
Yes,
wrestling
he's
fan.
their manager. That's what you do, is he has to walk out with Pretty Deadly.
He might do it.
All right.
I mean,
I feel like we finally covered everything we missed since we've been jumping around this show. Because
yeah, we're
after
definitely not in
that,
order. It was fine.
after that, it was
That's
Jimmy
not in
Uso,
order.
LA
Well, I know,
Knight,
I
and
know
Drew
we talked
McIntyre.
about Drew winning, but the triple threat match itself, was there any possibility LA Knight was going to win? I know Jimmy Uso's not winning, but were you guys
Yes.
thinking that LA Knight?
LA Knight was about to win, and Drew yanked Lil Nate himself out of the ring when he almost called the 3 count. And it looked like he whacked his face on the ground, which I don't think he did, but Drew did it so easily. I loved the opening of that match. There was just some energy between Drew and LA Knight. And there's another thing I wanted to point out. LA Knight comes out, right? And he's about to give a promo, but he looks to the screen and he says something. He gets all serious. He's like, I'm going to be serious for a second. As a man, as a boy, if you want to take a minute to cry, you can do that. There is nothing wrong. Like, he made like a public announcement that I thought was very sweet to the kids watching and to the young men watching. And then immediately, I was like, oh, I wonder why he does that. He immediately calls Drew McIntyre a crybaby, and he goes, I made my way down, and I could have sworn I heard somebody call Drew McCrybaby. And he just rips into Drew, and every time the camera cut back to Drew was laughing. So, like, I like, once again, we're in a new era where, yes, it's a little corporate, but at the same time, John Cena's back right now. I think there's a little bit of that relatability and that being serious. And I really like the little shout out PA thing that LA Knight did at the beginning. But their promo was fun, and of course the match. I really enjoyed the match.
Now,
LA Knight could have won.
Now, just to kind of almost wrap the SmackDown, this chaotic SmackDown review around, what made it so boring? Is the 3 hours really showing? Is 3 hours?
Oh yeah,
it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours and 30 minutes on Raw this past week. This past week was so fun to me. I felt like the show was paced so well, but the problem was it was the first hour of SmackDown that was boring to at least myself and Rodkip, to my knowledge.
You could make a 3 hour show work. We've watched many Raws that we liked that were 3 hours.
Yeah, and I just think SmackDown and there was a lot going on in SmackDown tonight. Even if you didn't count the whole opening with saying, "Oh, our main event's gonna be Jay and Cody versus Jacob and Tama," where me and Rodkip, I don't really know what to blame, but once again, I knew going into the show that the first 30 minutes was going to be a Jey Uso segment similar to Monday Night Raw, and yet I still feel like Raw at 2:30 this past week was paced better.
Yeah.
I agree, Earl. I mean, Netflix's glitching recently has been tonight's production on SmackDown, I thought, was worse than it was on Raw. And I know there's, of course, some other struggles, but even there were moments, and I'm talking about the actual production. Charlotte would say something, and then she would stop speaking, and it'd be a few seconds, and then Alexa's music hit, Stuff like that. I just feel like tonight was kind of all over the place, whether it just be the stream or the production as a whole.
I think during the Charlotte stuff, I think I stopped paying attention, and I just started doing other stuff. I was not interested. No,
Charlotte and Tiffany doesn't work for you, Rod.
I don't know. I only know one of them, and I barely know Charlotte. Other way around. Sorry, my bad.
So it's not Tiffy time for Rodkip.
Shit. The clock's not wound up yet for Tippy time. Not yet. I think I
Um,
literally got on my fucking GameCube and started playing Kirby Air Ride during all that.
I want the Hardys at Elimination Chamber. That'd be great. Um,
That'd be funny.
uh, that threw me off. So we had the closing. So the main event was Jacob Fatu and Tamatonga versus Cody and Jey Uso, which we did cover a little bit, but return of Solo. What are we thinking? Are we happy to see him back? He was out for pretty much about a month.
Yeah.
Put him back
Apparently
in the-
only
put him
3
back
weeks.
in
I
the
didn't even
oven.
know the guy was gone.
Put him back in the oven. He's not ready.
Well, he attacked Cody again. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Cody is just the weakest champion. Because even
Uh.
earlier they made him look weak when he talked to the Miz. I don't need your help, Miz. And then he walked out there with his gold glitter pants. Oh my goodness. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. And then
Are we
Solo
once
attacking him again.
Are we once again getting Solo versus Cody?
Probably.
Yeah.
Just for him to lose.
Just so
Again,
Cody has an easy title
and
defense
again.
before Mania.
Before he has
You
to
know what
get
I
to
do
drop
also have to point out about the show? I'm sorry, Earl got me going. He got me fired up.
it.
Shout out to Earl.
WWE has a bad habit of starting a match and immediately going into a commercial break.
Yeah.
I hate that they do that. They gotta stop. We missed Chelsea and Piper's entrance, but then right when the match started, it went into a commercial break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
This
didn't get a
whole
commercial break?
This whole streaming service era with WWE they got some things they need to tinker with. I mean, we're literally only 4 weeks in.
Yes.
Apparently, how long Solo's been gone for?
Yeah, Solo. He did. Because Solo did that match with Roman on Raw, first Raw on Netflix, and then on SmackDown he left his Bloodline faction, but now he's back, I guess. It's interesting because you have the Jacob Fatu dynamic where he's kind of taken charge since Solo's gone. We could lean towards more of a Jacob Fatu and Solo storyline going into Mania. Maybe they fight at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind that.
Maybe they
Probably be completely fine. Earl says just move everything to Peacock. I know JVH wouldn't agree with that.
No, Peacock, the bit rate is worse than YouTube. And watching this stuff on Netflix, when it's on Netflix in the United States, unless using a VPN, it's so much nicer. It's so much nicer. Everything's just in so much better quality, man.
Yeah, Germ, it's almost feel like there's some points, especially during Raw on Netflix, where it feels like I'm watching Raw on YouTube. The ads having the counter almost feels like I get even more angry.
See, Raw, I didn't think was bad. SmackDown had a lot of commercials.
I think SmackDown,
Yes.
with it being on the USA Network, still is having issues juggling between the two. Maybe that's why they wanted it at 3 hours, so they could kind of figure out this whole ad situation.
Well, they need to do it fast.
What?
We finally did cover everything that happened on the show, though, successfully.
We did. So we'll throw it to the Q&A.
At least we said the show.
Just if you guys have any questions, throw it in the chat. I think I did see one for Raven about 2K. Yes, Raven said chances of getting a TNA DLC in WWE 2K25. I think it's actually a very high chance.
We better.
Jordan Grace did stuff for 2K that was actually confirmed. A lot of TNA wrestlers were former guys in WWE 2K. So Dolph Ziggler, the Hardys, etc. Their entrances are already in the game. What are you trying to say,
You think they'll
Rocket?
let us use like their actual names? Like they'll have
Oh,
like
that's a
two
good
versions, the
question.
TNA version and the
It'd be
WWE
cool.
version.
So it'd be cool if you had two different attires. One was Nick Nemeth and
Yeah.
one was Dolph Ziggler. I don't know if they'd go
Mhm.
I
that
love it.
far, but that'd be really fun. I don't think we'd get
But I mean,
Abyss.
maybe we wouldn't.
Abyss not being an
But,
active wrestler. I know the guy is a producer in WWE, but Abyss is like a fictional character that belongs to TNA, while somebody like Jordan Grace is, she owns that name. The Hardys own their name. Nick Nemeth owns his name. Joe Hendry owns his name. I think those guys. I don't think you're gonna get a gimmicky person from the TNA DLC if there is a TNA DLC.
it'd be Joe Hendry.
A TNA versus
Raven.
W. What were you gonna say, JVH?
I was gonna say Raven brought up a thought on strike when we were able to talk about the women's Royal Rumble / men's Royal Rumble. Raven said he thinks that it may be possible someday that an NXT star wins the Rumble. I wanted to know your thought on that, Ace. Do you think that would ever be possible for a rising NXT star to win the Royal Rumble?
Um, I think it would have to be somebody main roster ready. So
That's what, yeah.
last year, for example, we all knew Carmelo Hayes was on his way up. Somebody like that could have won the Rumble if he was main
Yes.
roster ready. Kevin Owens, when he was coming up from NXT, his first match was against John Cena. Somebody like that could have won the Rumble. I'm going way back to like 2015, but I think that's a really good example as well, because Kevin Owens, really rose up the ranks really quickly. And Finn Balor won the Universal title his first week on the main roster. So an NXT guy who's main roster ready winning the Rumble, if we go by history, doesn't seem that far fetched when you think of guys like Finn and Kevin Owens and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh,
Other,
once again, I thought Roxanne was close. It
Yeah.
spooked me.
It's
other
spooky.
DLC wish list. That's a good question. Who
Let's
else
get
would I
another
want in
football.
the DLC?
The TNA pack, if it has the Hardys, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I would love to have the Hardys in the game again. Even
Good
so,
on that.
they did a cool thing where it was like the 2001 Dudleys. When the Dudleys DLC came out, it'd be cool if it was like if we had like the 2000s like Hardys, because we never really had that in a proper game. Like I'm talking like Team Extreme with Lita. Like that would be a sick DLC pack. What feature would you like to return? Me personally would like a create a finisher to return. Create a finisher is a big one. I mean, it's not going to happen, but create a story. That's going to be number one on my wish
If
list
creative
forever and ever.
finisher became a thing again, I think they would probably need to like change it a bit. They'll probably put like a limit, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
before you could just
be very limited
do all this.
compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, if they bring it back, they'll be hella limited.
Hey, Nikki Fox.
Yes, sir.
What wrestling legend would you like to see as DLC in the game? You can have anybody, like a certain favorite
Anybody?
movie of yours.
Isn't he
Even
already?
the Piper?
No, not that one.
Roddy Piper? Oh.
How about a Ready to Rumble DLC, Nick? Here, you get Jimmy King.
Oh
get-
my gosh, that would be awesome.
You get former WCW World Champion David Arquette.
Yes.
We get Diamond
David
Dallas Page is already in the game. Sting, he's retired now. They could get him.
Yo, bring him back.
And who else is in that movie? Oh, you could have John Cena in it because he has a cameo in it, but it's like blonde John Cena and like gym shorts.
It's Prototype.
Yeah, the Prototype.
Can you
Oh,
imagine
TNA?
them announcing the DLCs with like all the wrestler images the way they do it, and the Prototype is just there?
A TNA AJ Styles would be really cool. You can also do a TNA version of Drew McIntyre, TNA version of, I almost said Bobby Lashley. He is no longer with us in AEW.
He's
in
dead?
AEW.
Oh, you gotta stop saying it like that.
Now, I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with some of the gameplay trailers and the other news that have been dropping about the
There's been
WWE
more?
game. Yes, there has been more. But there
Oh,
seems to be some
I'm
more
not-
information that they're changing the way that the custom refs work, the special guest
Oh.
referees. But the footage that they kept using to show off special guest referee was Paul Heyman as the special guest referee wearing the shirt. And that just made me excited that could I be Paul Heyman?
A thing I haven't brought up to you yet, Perolski. I don't know if the gameplay trailer came out the other day. The
watched
Netflix
it.
Raw logo was in the trailer.
I saw it.
To my surprise, it's actually going to be in the game. That's good job, 2K. Like, wow, you did it.
Man, there are
You
some
did something
things that don't look too hot, but those models look fantastic. And they teased with some of the cutscene with The Rock saying, sit down, boy.
The Rock. Yes. Yes, they got rid of the actual footage and they brought back the gameplay footage. That also big thumbs up. Like that actually potentially that makes me want to stream Showcase because now I won't get hit with a big old copyright and
a slingshot mode that had to blur half the footage anyway.
This just looks like something very useful.
Shockwave Gaming.
The backstage areas look awesome. Once listen, Byron Saxon, great person. It is strange that he's still in the game if he's been on commentary. Like he hasn't been on commentary in multiple years. I get it. You could just add more things for them to say so it makes the commentary more layered with each game. But I also don't think they're not doing enough with the commentary. So let me answer.
Should have got Corey Graves.
Let me answer Earl's question. Switching up because he asked, could we see a WWE versus TNA pay-per-view? And then he said, or NXT versus TNA. I think NXT versus TNA. NXT already has a show called Worlds Collide, so there you go. There's your PLE name. I can't see TNA taking over Survivor Series. Like, Triple H just loves his war games, and I think that's the future of Survivor Series for now on.
War game.
I agree.
Cameras being able to move in entrances, going back to the video game, is really cool. We're gonna have fun with that here on Shockwave Sports. Just in time
only a little bit though. People aren't realizing that the cameras in the game still kind of suck. The controls for those cameras aren't fantastic.
Well, here's what I was thinking is, more editing for my good friend Johnny Von Hollywood. But if you shot,
love that.
But if you shot the entrance 3 times, for example, and did 3 different angles, and then in post you could kind of cut to different angles, and it kind of makes it more dynamic. I'm not saying you do this on a car or strike, but for a big pay-per-view, and you want to make it a little different, maybe something like that.
Especially like a character with especially when it comes to something like Jey Uso's entrance, which, as we know in the Shock Wrestling universe, Jovan uses. And to me, since we dislike the way that entrance currently looks in the new game and it doesn't seem synced, that seems like an entrance that would be fun to go to the alternate camera. Because don't forget, not only is that free roam camera accessible, there's a third-person camera that you can use during the entrance. That's really cool.
The only thing I wanted, I wish you could take control of the guy and just let me do my taunts and stuff as I'm walking to the ring. That would have been really cool, and maybe that's next year. What y'all think about the third person? Joe Hendry versus Cody at SummerSlam. Unless Joe Hendry and like Lady Gaga do like a song together or something where Joe all of a sudden gets like mainstream attention, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh, we didn't talk about something important, and I know time's ticking, but we didn't talk about the rumored Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view for
Yes.
December.
That was some interesting news. So for John Cena's final pay-per-view of the year, it is rumored that they're going to have a December pay-per-view called Ruthless Aggression. I'm glad you brought this up because I've been thinking about this. I don't want it to just be a John Cena like show. If you're going to call it Ruthless Aggression, it's got to be a Ruthless Aggression era reunion. So I was thinking of the card, right? So
Yes.
the main event, I would have John Cena versus Randy Orton. I think that's how you do it.
Peak.
I would open the show with Jeff Hardy versus Johnny Nitro, John Morrison, however he wants to go about it.
Yo.
Just like a Ruthless Aggression era pay-per-view.
Is
would
Johnny
start.
going to still wrestle? Because doesn't he trade people? But I didn't think he still wrestled.
Yeah, because he's
He can
on
come
Ring of
back.
Honor as Johnny TV right now.
Oh, okay.
Johnny TV.
So yeah, just sign Morrison for one night. Do Morrison versus Jeff Hardy. That's what I want. And I want Carlito to face who was I thinking of? I do want
He's gonna
Carlito in a
spit.
match.
This is intense.
I want Carlito versus Bald Kane because we're talking Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh my
Bald
god,
Kane,
Kane.
it is
Oh my
Ruthless
God.
So my
Aggression era.
JBL
And J-
pick for this pay-per-view isn't too far off then.
Well, so I would since JBL's retired, but I still want him in a match. Hornswoggle finally gets his revenge on JBL for throwing that trash can at him at WrestleMania 24, and we do
Oh, wow.
JBL versus Hornswoggle in a Extreme Rules match.
See, don't forget JBL. Didn't he attack Joe Hendry multiple times now?
Miz and
He's
Morrison
attacked
is
multiple
PG
times.
era. You're thinking too late. You got to do Ruthless
Ah.
Aggression
You're
era.
a little too late, TJ.
Because I thought about that, TJ, but I was like, no. I'm talking like I'm talking like 2002 to 2007. That's
Before your time.
I think. I did see Joe Hendry's interview with Ariel Helwani, and it had good for him trying to get a match with Cena. That's all I'll say. Good luck to the guy. Stay tuned when it comes to that Ace entrance. Yeah, so Miz and Morrison became a team at the end of 2007. They won the tag title. Actually, it might have been very early 2008, because the PG era starts at SummerSlam 2008. That is when WWE officially went PG. There's a great story where Edge and Undertaker were feuding, and Edge finally got to work a Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker, and he was so excited he was going to make it so bloody and brutal, and then WWE goes to PG that week, right before they do the match. The match is still awesome, but it's not that Ruthless Aggression era match that I think Edge wanted from The Undertaker.
The difference.
But I'll throw it to the panel. Is there anybody else you guys would want to see Cena face in his last match that's not Randy Orton?
In his last match?
So
here,
man.
I want Cena to face Kevin Owens at some point because I think that'd be cool, but not necessarily
they have a
for
history.
Yeah, like you were bringing up earlier. I
think he'll fight AJ Styles. They have a history as well.
I can't really think of a lot of.
I feel like Randy Orton's just the pick. It's like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
And then, yeah, not for last match. That's the same. Like, exactly. I can think of matches I want, but not last matches where I'm rooting for the Joe Hendry thing. I'd love John Cena to face Joe Hendry at some point. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
but
it'd be a cool attraction.
You know, I just
CM
John
Punk
Cena
is definitely an option as well.
I'm too busy worrying about the number 17 thing. Oh,
yeah.
Dominic Mysterio, right? Dominic Mysterio and John Cena. Seeing John Cena kick his ass would be fun.
Technically, that happened in a dark match. A fan filmed it. I
damn.
watched that match, actually. Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun.
So I can't believe I'm saying this on a live stream, so I can't cut it out later. I saw earlier on Reddit, somebody had a theory saying,
Reddit.
what if John Cena wins his belt? It was underneath the Ruthless Aggression PLE Pro. So it said, what if John Cena wins the belt and then Dominic Mysterio cashes in on him and wins? And I went, oh boy, that'd be so funny.
Dom Mysterio winning Money in the Bank is a really good pick for this year. That should have been.
I would love that.
If we made a 2025 predictions video, that's a good one.
Yeah, Dom. That kid, I tell you. He entertains me.
Rusev match would be cool. I would love to see Rusev back in WWE. I think that'd be a lot of fun. He'd probably get lost in the shuffle eventually, but it'd be cool to see.
No more Rusev Day.
Who's inducting John into the Hall of Fame?
Kurt Angle.
So
since Cena inducted him.
So on Chris Van Fleet, he asked Kurt, and Kurt said that he thinks it would be Stephanie. He would love to do it, but he thinks it would be Stephanie McMahon.
Interesting.
Because he gave her a lot of the credit, which I've heard the stories before, that Stephanie gets a lot of the credit of pushing John to do the whole hip-hop gimmick.
They could. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of people that really could. How about we have Kane versus Undertaker at that Ruthless Aggression era pay-per-view? It won't be as good as the old matches, but I'd like to see it. I would like to see it, too. Let's make it a Buried Alive match, too.
Let's make it worse. Brothers of Destruction versus DX.
No, again.
Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view. Run it back. We're going to fix it.
One more time.
It could be multiple people like they probably do for Triple H. That's a good point. It could be a group of people inducting him. I like it when it's one person, though. It makes it more personal. I don't know.
They have to...
I think Shawn Michaels is inducting Triple H. If they have anyone else do it, that's stupid.
And Shawn's gonna cry.
In an Inferno match, that's a good one for Kane versus Undertaker in 2025.
Oh,
guys, I don't think Kane and Undertaker are gonna wrestle.
They could one last time. Let's go around.
Yeah, it's got to be Shawn Michaels inducting Triple H. I wonder who else will be in the Hall of Fame this year. So it's in Vegas.
Well,
there's no...
Is Ric Flair going to be there?
The
Probably.
honky-tonk man. The
Ric
Hall of
Flair,
Fame.
Batista? Are the Four Horsemen all going to be there?
Carlito to beat Cody. I like Earl's booking. I like this.
I like
WWE.
I agree.
Get Earl in the fucking room. Hire this man right now.
The thing about Undertaker is, if you watch that Last Ride documentary, him and Triple H aren't close. Like, they have great in-ring chemistry, but they're not, like, close people. Like, I think the Shawn Michaels one would just be way more personal and way more authentic. I think if you throw Undertaker in there, I don't know, it just becomes a little too D23, if you know what I mean. It's like, oh, we're all out here. We got to get everybody out here because we're talking about the greatness of Triple H. But I think Shawn Michaels would actually give us a good story on recapping his career. Because that, when Triple H inducted Ric Flair, he did such a good job at that as well back in 2008. The Hall of Fame has really become like D23, and I don't like.
Well, The Rock proved that the last time. Because to me, the thing that people will hate is when The Rock makes a whole big deal about shaking Triple H's hand and saying congratulations for getting inducted, and then walks away, and then we move on with the ceremony, because they're gonna throw that at us, and then all the wrestling fans will complain about it, and it's like, okay, what'd you expect?
To me, the Hall of Fame should take place in like a ballroom or something. No fans. Why is there fans at the Hall of Fame?
They allow fans? Oh, in the Hall of Fame?
So Rod Kip, the Hall of Fame now takes place after SmackDown. Now I am a hypocrite because I was in attendance for Kurt Angle's Hall of Fame, but I was very respectful. I didn't clap. Here's what really affected me when I attended that Hall of Fame. They were inducting the Warrior Award, and I'm sorry I don't know the name right now, but it was to this like 20-some-year-old kid who got paralyzed from like the neck down, I believe from like a football accident. So when of course he can't stand at a podium. The guy is paralyzed, and he's got a microphone, like kind of like pop singer style, like on like not like a headset, but wrapped around the cheek, right?
Yeah.
And they're having audio issues. He was a little low at first, and the guy's just trying to talk that he likes wrestling, and the fans start chanting, "We can't hear you," and it's like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Eric
fix
LeGrand
it.
was his name. He was a former Rutgers football player.
Yeah,
Ain't no
I literally
way.
remember going back to my hotel later that night and just like fucking feeling bad for that kid. He did not need that. He was talking about how much he liked SmackDown versus Raw, and I could hear him fine. And I was up in the fucking cheap seats. I was like nowhere near close to him, and it was just some fans just being fans, man. And since then I'm like, the Hall of Fame should not be in a sports arena. I'm sorry. It should be in like a ballroom or something.
Ballroom. Run out of place. No, that's the thing that needs
Shut
to
up,
be
Rod Kip.
respectful.
Earl, I like your
You shut
comment,
up!
but I'm not going to say it out loud. The biggest predator hell in a cell is pretty funny.
No way.
Oh, wrestling. What can we do? Can't live with it, can't live without it.
Why do I like this? Why do I like this media?
Hey, Alexa Bliss returned. And by
Alexa
the way,
Bliss
Ace,
did return.
I don't like the way you did the thing tonight. I see what you did to a poor Alexa over there.
What happened was is that
What did you do?
Look at his stream.
I'm going to blame the internet.
No,
because they said Alexa
there's
signed
no
with Raw.
choice.
So I had her all over the Raw graphics on Monday. And then SmackDown comes along and I get the news while I'm out that she's wrestling tonight. So, hey, to me that's the biggest story of the night. First time since 2022. I put her right there next to the logo. It's an Alexa Bliss night. God.
She was great. I loved her.
We
Wade was like, she left to make life, and she came back like she didn't miss a beat. Wade and Joe, I like them together. They're a fun team.
Oh man, I'll give the chat a second. Any closing questions or anything? This was a very fun Q&A. I think we had a lot of good talking points. But yeah, we'll be right back with it. We'll be right back with it on Monday. What else do I have to plug? See No Evil isn't for a while.
February 23rd.
23rd though.
February 9th, the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Make sure you buy WWE 2K25.
Right,
so Earl said Ace versus Cody. He don't want the smoke.
He don't want the smoke.
Somehow WWE would let Ace make Cody look bad, look like a crybaby. Don't forget, folks, February 9th, during the Super Bowl halftime show, whether that be the approximate time I air it, because I tried last year and we started airing our thing in the halftime show, did not even start. So we'll see if that happens this year. We have a fantastic halftime havoc that should be going on during the halftime show this year.
We'll have some special guests.
When is the halftime?
We'll have some special guests on halftime havoc.
Allegedly, kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. So
I like Earl's booking
TJ
again.
told me that.
Cody. So in the Ace versus Cody match, Cody lays down like Jeff Jarrett did to Hulk Hogan. I think it's all great, and I win the belt.
Yeah.
Like, halftime Havoc match card.
Might as well.
Yeah.
We don't.
All right. Breaking news. We
Breaking
got a
news,
big
not
match
me.
for halftime Havoc. The man that the first ever person that ever beat Beacon. We're running it back. Adam, the Eagles fan, versus Beacon, the Chiefs fan, and the winner gets a global championship match next Friday on Strike.
Woo!
Big
Woo!
match for halftime Havoc.
Good match.
Adam,
Good match.
Adam 1-0 at halftime Havoc, won the very first one in it was a 5-pack challenge for his belt.
Good for him.
And
Valentine's Friday night strike special, and then
Yes.
of course Saturday night we have a crowd pleasing event. What a busy week!
Crowd
it
pleasing
is
event.
it is a busy week ahead of us. It's a busy month ahead of us. We're leaving 2K24 with a bang with the content
Bang,
we're
bang.
about to hit with you guys. And JVH is on the mic and he's gonna make fun of me. Face the Ace video every Wednesday.
Ooh, nerd.
Depending if a trailer airs on Sunday will determine the next video that might be coming out this Wednesday. If a certain trailer does
What's
come out,
on
it's a
Sunday?
really good video next week. You're all gonna love it.
What trailer?
I'm not telling you. As
Then I'm not gonna watch.
But I think that's all we have. I'm gonna say goodbye to my panel first, and then I'll close the show. I'm glad you guys came.
Yeah.
You guys saved my ass. I'm glad. Thank you for watching Smackdown and essentially reviewing the show tonight for here on this road to WrestleMania.
You're lucky we
Reporter
didn't fall
Rod
asleep.
Kip
Thank you for
will
having me.
return.
Oh, Nikki Fox.
I showed.
Nick,
Oh,
thanks for having us. We'll talk
It
to
was
you
fun.
guys all later. Good luck, Ace.
I won't.
thank you guys. This was a very fun edition, and just to close it out, I will see you all in the next live stream. Hopefully it doesn't get cut out this time, because the last stream I